Hiya, how you doing? So today I'm in Essex and I'm going to sort of take you to a place where, you know, you may know it, you may not know it, but if you know it, brilliant. If you don't, I'm about to show you it. About to introduce you to a place where I've actually explored a couple of these, well a few actually, but this one's in Essex. We're in Roydon and we're on the trail for a Cold War anti-aircraft battery, so stay with me, let's go find it. Come on. Hello, so here we are. We're in Roydon and the smell of decomposing peppers out in the field bit there. Might take a look at that, I don't know. But what we're here to see is these wonderful remains of this Cold War anti-aircraft battery. And I can already see in the distance we've got a generator building and then we've got our wonderful anti-aircraft emplacements. Pretty cool, isn't it? They're not the best condition ones, but unfortunately, as we know before, history will sort of eventually take its toll, and unfortunately these places will always see better days. You know. But it's great nevertheless that what's here is left, and we should embrace it and we should take of that the most important part, really. So like I said, you know, in previous videos I've done similar ones. I've done one in Sheerness, I've done one in Shoreham that's documented, that I've documented. Won't be my first one, it definitely won't be my last. It's just nice to know that we can examine these as the historian lovers that we are, the explorers that we are. And yeah, there's graffiti on there, which is totally acceptable under the circumstances. You know, I think we can all safely say that they're not going to be used for anything else, are they? Let's be honest. They're not going to serve another purpose. We left a fridge in there. You know, why not? Sorry for blowing in the camera. Just eating alive. It's that time of the year where the flies and the midges are upon us. That's caused havoc on our bodies, causing us devastation on our skin by causing us bites and everything else. But yeah. So what you're looking at was the ammunition storage unit, so I didn't really sort of say that, but you kind of knew that already, didn't you? Because you've been watching my channel for a long time now, I'm assuming. If you're a new subscriber, then hello, this is what I do. The field of peppers, we're going to call them, or whatever. Like, we will have a look at those at the end, just for a bit of a laugh. But yeah. I suppose gun emplacements are sort of relatively rare. I mean, for me to come to Essex and to find one is especially a Cold War one, because obviously we all know about Chadwell Heath, for example, which is a Second World War one. But you know, to find these Cold War ones, you know, it's still quite a rare thing. I suppose, like, yeah, in a certain way, we're sort of lucky lucky where I live, because I live in Kent, and obviously, as you know, Kent's probably one of the only counties that is just packed full of history. But it's packed full of history because it was the gateway to the country. You know, the fact that we had, you know, it was prime for invasion, so we'd have all these deep underground bunkers. But like, you know, when you do come up to Essex and the other counties, I think probably Suffolk might be the next county up that's got probably a lot more available, accessible history. But again, that's probably in a historical context as to why. It's quite nice to see them all in sequence. going in this arc fashion. So you've got all 4 here. It's the final one, and then we've only got 2 buildings. You know, that's what I always say, isn't it? Like I say, it's might not be the biggest thing in the world ever, but that's not the point. It's the history that it retains. And then what we have to do is we have to start, like I said, sort of dissecting history in terms of its relevance for each county. So we have to say to ourselves, well, in Essex's county, to find a Cold War anti-aircraft battery is very, very rare. So that in itself makes it a unique video. So you can imagine the gun in the middle, and then it being looking up to the sky. Beautiful sky today, actually. Like we said, you know, these. I think the thing is that these Cold War sites, especially, they're very interesting because they come straight after the Second World War, so roughly about 1947, and sometimes they are repurposed from original World War II gun battery sites, but sometimes they are completely fresh, and that's mostly to do with the technology, the way that it, or the advancements in technology sometimes. And then we obviously refer to them as Igloo 1 and Igloo 2 sites. So we know probably more than likely that this one is an Igloo 1 site, and that alone is interesting. And as we look now, actually I'll tell you what, I've got to admit, the colours of the graffiti are quite substantial. So this is the generator room, as you can imagine, because as you can see, these generator vents that are here. So you can imagine at one point the generators being in here, supplying the power that's needed. Incredible noise, can you imagine? And this steel girder that we're quite familiar with on our Cold War anti-aircraft sites. The fact that it proves it's proper concrete. This is, again, we're talking about the fact that advancements in technology, advancements in design, this is an extremely solid structure. Although it's not buried underground, it's a hefty size, it's a hefty weight. Let's keep going. I don't really want to. But these vents, I mean, they alone are, you know, a wonderful piece of history in themselves. You know, and it just proves the structure's importance, really. Need to go to the command post, though, I do believe. Let's have a look. Truly glorious day today. Beautiful. At one point when I was driving up, I was in my t-shirt, and that's the first time this year that I've done that. On the downside for me, as you're probably all aware, I suffer from really bad hay fever. The other downside to that is I can't take any medication for it because of certain ailments that I have. So I have to suffer through it. But luckily, because it's the early in the season, it will go. And so summertime I can really hopefully enjoy myself. Hopefully, blimey. But yes, so it's quite nice today. Now, command post should be somewhere around here. Although I know that it's well within the sort of thicket of bushes that is here, so might have to hold fire, everybody. I was debating whether to do this one in real time today. You know, to do this, and like a, you know, as you're probably all aware, I didn't really want to sort of do one of my classic Phoenix history lessons, because you've seen a couple of these before, and if you would like to, it'd be doing me a huge favour, everybody out there, if you want to, if you go and have a look on Phoenix history and you find Shoreham Cold War battery and you find Sheerness one, you'd be doing me a huge favour. Just want to sort of take a look through here. Like I said, you know, you always have to embrace the fact that we don't get an opportunity sometimes to come through to these places. But yeah, okay, right. I'll plod on and we'll hopefully find the command post. So, okay, so here we are. We are now on our, well, not our final bit, because I want to show you one other cool little thing that's just down the road, but we're at the command bit. Oh dear, the thorns are getting the better of me, sorry. Look at that. So this was the command post we're looking through. The officers' quarters. The window frame, which is, you know, it's beautiful to see still. Again, it's thick concrete. Originally, there would have actually been a door here. I mean, obviously you can see the outline of the frame, but there would have actually been a door here. Proper old school sort of like latched door. Then we come through to here where the men would have been actually stationed in this specific part more than any other part. We can walk down. Commanding operations, really. Substantial building again. This is the, would have been this huge door that would have been extremely thick with a sliding bolt that goes across. We walk round, we get to see where all of the cabling and everything else would have been. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We'll go through it one more time. I like the Bart Simpson graffiti. Pretty cool. But it's hard to sort of imagine, really, isn't it? The fact that we probably take some of these sites for granted these days. Shall I walk through there again? I probably will. I don't mind getting cut a little bit. It's okay. Oh, there we go. And again, you would have seen these double shutters on here. So as you can see, you've got hinges on either side, and then what would have happened was that they would have opened outwards. And then as you can see before you, you can see a little, well, it's a slide really. And that's it. I mean, these are the main structures that you can see. And it's incredible really to think. Surprised it doesn't smell as much as graffiti, smell the graffiti as much, but I suppose it's just the way that it is, isn't it? Expecting more, I was more of a smell. But either way, still in fantastic condition. And again, like I said to you before, you know, we have to put this in context of counties now. We're having to sort of do this in context of its county. The fact that for Essex, this is really quite a rare site. So you have to put that into its own context and say, right, okay, by documenting this and by probably other people documenting this, because this is quite a well-known one. I'm not sort of breaking the, sort of going, oh, this is unique. I've never, you know. The point is that it's here to be documented in whatever fashion we can do it. And although it might not be the most detailed documentation you're ever going to see on this channel, it provides some extra sort of reassurance that our history isn't necessarily going away as fast as we'd like to, but that we have to be aware that at some point it will. This is why, like I said, we have to cherish and embrace these wonderful historical structures that we still have. Now, I'm not finished here yet. I'm not finished with this place. I'm not finished at all. So hopefully I've given you all of the main parts, etc, etc. You know, if you want, like I said, if you want a detailed more, if you want a more of a detailed look, check out previous ones where I did go through the proper history of igloo sites, etc, etc. Now, the only thing that this isn't here, that's not here, that might have been some Nissan huts for accommodation, proper accommodation, but it's never necessarily a guaranteed thing. Although if you saw in my both of my other videos, actually, the Sean one and the Sheerness one, you would have seen some Nissan huts that were there, which was purely for accommodation of staff. Fortunately here there doesn't seem to be any. But what we're going to look at here, so this was the original road as well, which is a beautiful thing. So what you've got to understand is that the command post is on the right. As it flips round, this wooded area would have provided excellent cover. What was I saying? And then it curves around, and you've got the gun battery and the generator room, which you saw. But here, now, I suppose really it could be a guard post, although jury's out. If it was a guard post, let's have a look. If it was a guard post, we'd assume that the entrance would be on the left, facing out onto the main road. But it's not. In fact, it's there. So, I suppose answers on a postcard on that. I would have said it was a guard post, but my worry with why that isn't is because it's facing the wrong way. You'd expect that to face into the road. But it's some sort of shelter. Again, like I said to you before, I'm not going to sort of say that I know everything about history. I can't do. But I do remember in the documentation seeing that, and they weren't actually sure. They just said it was the remains of a brick structure, which it absolutely is. So I answer on a postcard for that, but it screams guard tower to me, or guard post. But I don't know. It just doesn't add up to me. It's facing the wrong way. But who knows? It's some sort of shelter, and as you can see, the road linking out. There you go. So that was it. That was our Essex Cold War heavy anti-aircraft battery. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you really liked it. More importantly, you share the video, you share the channel. Spread the word so that I can get out and do more explores for you. Not that I wouldn't do anyway, really, but it just gives me more motivation to do so. Thank you as always for watching. Any more words of Phoenix history, because history matters, and it really does, doesn't it, when you look at amazing structures like what we've seen today. Stay safe, look after yourselves, and I'll see y'all very soon. Goodbye for now, everybody. Thank you so much for your support and your love and your kindness. And like I said, I'm sorry for doing this a slightly different way. Not your bulk history lesson, but I've done so many of these. Very similar to ROC post. If I kept doing the history lesson, it's basically the same. The only thing that changes is the location. So forgive me. And if you haven't, if this is your first time to the channel and you've exclusively just seen this one for the first time, go back. Type in Sheerness Cold War anti-aircraft battery and type in Shoreham Cold War anti-aircraft battery, and they are pretty much exactly the same. So there you go. Hopefully that's helped you, and if you can kindly put it in the comments, put the links down for me, that'd be a huge favour. And I'm sure at some point I will do some more heavy anti-aircraft batteries for you wonderful people out there. But that's the beautiful thing about Phoenix history, isn't it? That we go on different journeys, we explore history, we explore so much of our history that we need to keep it fresh and have some variety in it. So yeah, thank you, take care, bye bye, adios, see you later everybody, kapow! bonus video. I did say I'd sort of like have a look over here, and I will do for all of you, because this is the best bit of the video, not the actual history. Look at all these peppers. I'll tell you what, doesn't smell too bad. It smells actually worse the further away you are, the closer you are. Oh, I'll tell you what, the colours are amazing. They look like Skittles. That's pretty cool. So if you want some peppers, come down to the older, come down to the older heavy anti-aircraft battery. I'm a little rotten and disgusting, but the colour's pretty sweet. What a waste, as my mum would say. What a waste. She's damn right, it is a waste. But yeah, bonus video. There you go.